Hi guys. Good to be here. I assume that most of you at least kind of are here because you are interested in actually maybe joining game industry one day as an employee or entrepreneur. So my talk is all about the team today. I've been, after the immense success of City Skylines, which is still a little bit overwhelming to be honest, I've had a lot of requests to come and talk about why the game is successful. How could we make a game which has sold over 1 million copies in the current marketplace? And it's really just about the team. That is the core ingredient in our success. And there's never one without the other. The team and the success are always there. And that's why I'm going to say it now. I'm going to repeat this pretty much for the next 20 minutes so you remember that, because that's the most important lesson we have learned. And yeah, from Colossal Order, we based on, think about the name, think about my topic here, reaching for the sky, we like to think big, because that's something that motivates us, drives us. We want to make big games for big platforms, and that has been our passion, our goal from the start, and will be in the future as well. So, one thing which is really important is to understand where did Colossal Order start from, and why everything happened as it happened. We started back in 2009. We were 5 people. This was after the layoffs from Universamo, a big mobile studio in Tampere. And it was at that point that we decided that PC is our main platform, and that's what we want to work on. Because the guys had been working on mobile games for some years, and they just really wanted to find new challenge themselves, and really just make games that were the dream games for us. And currently we have 13 people working, so from the 5 original ones, we still have 3 of us left in the company after 6 years, and we have hired a couple of new ones. And we have always thought about the growth as a very organic process, so we don't want to grow the team size just because we could. It always has to make sense. This is so that the group dynamic works still in the future as well. So we basically have a very selective process when we decide who's going to be working with us. And we started with mass transit simulators. That's probably not the sexiest topic out there, but it was really something that we felt that we could do. We were 5 people, and we wanted to make a full-blown PC game. So we really had to think hard. What genre can we succeed in? What are the requirements? Where can we utilize our knowledge the best, our skills, and succeed in there? So, and because I don't like to, just talk here for the entire time, I want to ask you a couple of questions. So, how many of you guys have ever heard of Cities in Motion? Have you guys played it? Yeah, thank you. You there, one guy. Perfect. This is perfect. So, how many of you has played City Skylines? Yeah, this is pretty much the ratio we see with the sales as well. It's something that we started with. Cities in Motion was our first game. That was the thing that kind of defined what Colossal Order is, showed our publishing partner where we are good at, and this is where we started to grow the company from. We made a sequel to Cities in Motion because it was I can't say that the game was very successful globally or huge hit, but it actually did make sense. It was a good game, it made profit, and it was a good starting point for the company. Then we decided to, well, this is not true. I was going to say we decided to make Cities in Motion 2, sequel to the first one. At this point already we were pitching a city building game. Because that was the thing that we felt we want to make. City building game, that's the kind of holy grail of simulation games to us. And that was something that we wanted to make from the beginning when we started the company. But nobody went with that at that point. I think we were 7 people after Cities in Motion 1 came out, so it wasn't really believable for anybody that we could pull that off yet. So we made Cities in Motion 2, it did well, like okay, and then after we got a bit lucky, I have to say, because 2013, the same year that Cities in Motion 2 came out the original city builder, so SimCity, which pretty much felt to us that okay, they will succeed. It's going to take 10 years before anybody will ever attempt to make a new city building game. But we were a little bit lucky there, and pitching again city building game, it worked out for us, and we actually got to make the game we had always dreamed about. So City Skylines was released March 10th this year, and the sales numbers are really just staggering. 250,000 copies in the first 24 hours. It still like gives me chills because it was so crazy. 500,000 copies was the next milestone for us, and this happened in under a week. It was 6 days. And then now over 1 million sold copies. Yeah, wow. I was always thinking that, yeah, this will definitely be more successful than our previous games, like 300,000 copies would be super cool. Yeah, it was very surprising to us. But on the other hand, the game has been received really well. The Metascore currently, or on Tuesday I checked it, it was 85, and the user score was 9.1, and on Steam we have basically overwhelmingly positive reviews for the game. So people seem to like the game. That's always a positive, right? And they played as well. So on the launch day we had a little party at the office, and we were kind of checking how things are going. And we actually peaked at over 60,000 people playing the game simultaneously. And this is just amazing for us. There's still currently, I think, like 30,000 people playing the game. So it's really just something that we are extremely proud of. But then we get to the point, like how did we actually make this happen, right? So, this is doesn't look exactly like I have planned it. We must be using a different, but we'll get through this, I think. Okay, so the main point is that we have a team at the office. We have designers. Designers' most important task is to know exactly what we are making and who we are making it for. So designer has to think about the audience. Who is your player? Who's going to be enjoying the game, and how do we actually fit the design for the audience? And for City Skylines, important things have been to make sure that inexperienced players can easily enter the game, because simulation games are not necessarily easy. There's a lot of things to learn, there's a steep learning curve, so you really have to kind of figure it out how to present the game in a way that newcomers can enjoy it and not get overwhelmed. The other thing there is to make sure that our main core audience, which are the hardcore players, can enjoy the game. So it's not too easy for them, but not too difficult for the newcomers. So there's a balance there. One extremely important part at Colossal Order is that we have extremely good programmers. It's just, the guys are like super talented. I call them the magicians at times, because they are just really that good. And the important thing there is that we can fit the technical quality. The launch went super smoothly, we didn't have any major game-breaking bugs, and just have the focus there for the programmers. Which are the things we want to make work beautifully? Add only those. Don't try to add things to the game that you don't have time to complete. And modding support has been one of the biggest thing in City Skylines that people have raved about. We have over 30,000 items on Steam Workshop. After the first 24 hours, there were like 3,000 of them. So there were so many modders attacking the game, I have to say, because they've gone like above and beyond on anything we ever imagined. There's actually like Flight Simulator now, a mod for the game. So you can, fly a plane there. It's really amazing. Then art. of course, it's important that the game is visually pleasing. And then we can come to my domain, which is the project management. And it's really about knowing the strengths and weaknesses of the team. Which are the parts we want to highlight and which we kind of, I don't want to say hide, but not really, bring forward. So those are the really important things to make all of this work together. So you actually have a team making the game who enjoy working together, they know exactly what needs to be done, and then it all just goes smoothly and on time, because publishers love it when you deliver on time. Remember that it's very good selling point for you as a team to be able to deliver. And definitely to the publisher, make sure that you have the right people selling your game. If you sell the game yourself, make sure you know what you're doing. If you feel uncomfortable doing it, get help. Get somebody who knows how to do it. And for us, it has been Paradox Interactive. We started working with them with Cities in Motion games already back in 2010. And they have basically been our partner since then. And it's really something that for Cities Skylines, the important things from the publisher end of where the visibility and the pricing and the quality that came from us. And this combined has been really the key success for Cities Skylines. And Paradox Interactive and publishers generally, their job is to make sure that the game gets the visibility. There's press coverage before the launch, after that, as well as what I love about working with Paradox is that we actually do have excellent community support. And this is very important when we have modding tools, we have modders. We need to make sure that the community keeps developing the game with us even after the launch. And we got really cool, Sips has made 13 videos of our game, which is crazy cool. And now if you don't know who Sips is, you should. And I have been caught, this was on Reddit, so this has to be true. I have said somewhere that cake, soda, and free time, that's how you make games. And this is really just the kind of main idea that we have at Colossal Order. I keep buying cake to the team. They are happy. They work very efficiently, 7.5 hours a day from Monday to Friday. They go do other stuff. I don't care what they do on their free time. It's just important that they have free time. For me, it has been always very clear. If I make people work 16 hours a day or crazy overtime, I will not get the best result. I want my team to be well rested, extremely focused when they come to the office. They work hard, they go home, relax, they come back the next day. So when you're working on your own game, I understand. You want to finish it, you want to make excellent quality, you want to have everything in it. Try to think what is important. Limit the scope and make sure that you have actually time to do it well. And now for the final, there's the picture of our 13-member team. They are all happy. We just basically ate cake before taking this picture, so everybody's extremely happy. Good, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mariina. I would like to ask you a question. You're a woman, you're working in game industry, which is male nominated. How has that been for you?
I don't know. I get this question pops up every now and then. I don't know. It's normal, I guess. We don't really. I've never worked in any other company than Colossal Order in the game industry. I came from TUT and I studied automation technology. You can imagine how many girls were actually studying automation technology to begin with. So I've always been in kind of male-dominated fields, and I've felt comfortable there. In the game industry, at least in Tampere region, we really have an open environment. I have never felt any less because I'm a woman. It's really just something that I haven't personally faced. one exception. When I was back in 2009, I met with a Russian developer, Russian publisher, and they asked that if my husband works in the company. But in Finland, no problems. So girls, women, if you want to work on games, go do it. There's nothing stopping you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Congratulations for your success at the gaming industry. But I have been thinking this through when I actually read news reports and stuff like that, and follow the industry. So I actually noticed by reviews your competitor SimCity actually failed so miserably. So I thought that if you were this kind of second popular franchising that was actually answering to the market call, of the kind of, if there's a main IP that's kind of failed to deliver the product and you succeeded with your passion, how do you think that it's the passion that's kind of carried out into the final product?
So are you basically suggesting that because SimCity failed, we succeeded?
Yes.
Yes, no. It's really something that with City Skyline, the timing was perfect. The timing couldn't have been any better. And you're forgetting Cities XXL. Because that has, Cities XXL was released, I think it was 29th of January, if I'm not lying completely. We had to adjust our schedules a little bit because they announced the game last year, I think it was November. They pushed it out trying to answer and get to the marketplace, like filling the void that SimCity unfortunately left. They also failed doing that. We didn't. The point there is that I think we really just had an excellent story. We're a small company doing what we love. We did it well. And we got extremely good timing.
Yeah, hi. You said you want your workers to have regular work time, but programmers tend to have flexible concept of working hours. And what would you say that one of your workers come and, hey, I worked like 15 hours yesterday, so I'm not going to work today. Is it fine for you? Or if he says that, hey, maybe today I want to work in the night, is it okay?
Well, he doesn't decide that, does he? The point is that at Colossal Order we have flexible work hours.
Yeah.
You have to come to the office by 10 a.m. You work for 7.5 hours, have lunch break somewhere in there, maximum 1 hour. And the flexible, what we have there is 3 hours per day. So you can go over 3 hours over the 7.5 hours per day, and you can take that back the next day if you want. As long as the week is 37.5 hours, which is in average, that's 7.5 hours per day, right? So if the programmer feels that he has his flow, programmers they have this flow. So they need to finish something. They can do that for 3 hours, but not any more than that. And they can do this. They don't have to ask this. They can decide themselves. Sometimes they might be a little bit stuck, so they only work for 5 hours and then they catch it the next day or the day after that. This is important for me that we have this flexible hour so that I get to visit the bank every now and then, because it's super annoying when you work from like 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, and you never get to do these like official business stuff that you sometimes need to do. So this is also something that our employees and the team appreciates, that we have some freedom in the working hours. But 15 hours per day, that's just, it doesn't make sense in the long run. So, yeah. And everybody, they accept this, and it has worked out for us. And I would be lying if I would say we never ever crunch. Of course, sometimes I need people to do some overtime, but it is always so that it is compensated, it is taken either you get free time for that or then you get paid. It's really important to keep the balance of rest and work.
Okay, so from what I've read, your lead game designer has studied graphic design at Metropolia. Is that so? What does it take to be a game designer at your company?
You can't do it. It's completely impossible to get a game design position in our company because mainly I have most difficulties with game designers, personally. And this is because game designers are a little bit difficult people. I don't, this is true. They are never happy. They are never happy with their work, and they keep iterating, and they just want to iterate, and then the programmers code something there, and it works, and then everybody's super happy, and the designer comes, this is not good. We need to change everything. Let's make an FPS. And at that point, it's like, go home, walk away. And but basically, game design is something I don't think there's only certain amount. Many fields in game industry, there's only certain amount you can learn from school. It's just really your enthusiasm, your this is called harrastuneisuus in Finnish, but you basically spend and live and breathe your profession, right? Like artists, they draw and they practice hours and hours and hours. And programmers, they need to figure out so many things. So do game designers. It's a creative field. You kind of, I feel that you need to have the talent, and then you can define it by studying and doing and learning. But it is something that to get the position at our company for game design, I have the least amount of game designers as a company can have, like no more than one designer per project. So good luck if you want to be a game designer. I don't mean to like ruin your dreams and hopes and all that over here.
No, I was just curious.
And one thing more still for that, when Caroline, our game designer on City Skylines, actually was studying, there were no game design studies available anywhere in Finland. So the field has changed, we get more education, which is absolutely fantastic. So use your time well, study hard, and make a lot of your own projects, your own games, and use those. Show the portfolio to the companies. So this is what I've done, and that's the best way to get that job in this field.
Right, thanks a lot.